Hello, Dyer from Garths Croft Bressay, welcoming you to a virtual tour of the croft at Garths Croft in Bressay. Presently in the middle of lambing. So in Shetland we would tend to slip the ram. The ram goes in with the ewes towards the end of November, middle end of November, and that would give us lambs around this time of year, middle, end of April, start of May. Lambing a little bit later in Shetland compared to the rest of the United Kingdom. A little bit later grass growth and so on. You kind of want to be aiming for lambs at such a time that you can, in an ideal world, a bit of rain today, but in an ideal world, put the ewes straight outside on the grass with the lambs, takes the lambs, and that late April, early May warmth of the sun, giving a good bit of new growth of the grass and helping the milk production of the ewe. So Garths Croft Bressay is a croft smallholding, an agricultural smallholding on the island of Bressay, so that's just a short 7-minute car ferry journey from Lerwick, from the capital of the Shetland Islands. And we focus, it's a very small holding, literally just 25 acres or so. We focus specifically on native and heritage breeds. So we have the native breeds of Shetland ewe and lamb, and a variety of colours, as you can hopefully see. We will go outside, but we'll maybe try and get some footage of that on a slightly better day, because it is torrential today. But focusing very much on native and heritage breeds. Colours of the Shetland sheep. So we have a couple of sets of twins that we've had this morning. Here's a Murdic Yo, lovely rich brown colour. A couple of twins in there. So, in an ideal world, let me get this camera right, in an ideal world, we get a May day like this, pretty cool, but a bit of sun, blue skies, lots of sheep lambing. And all is well with the world. So, obviously I've put a bit of feed down for the ewes. Behind me you can see some examples of some native Shetland ewes, a mix of colours, fleeces, and a good look at these guys. Put the feed down just after lambing, in the run up to lambing, all through the winter. The sheep will come instantaneously, just shake a bucket, go into a field with a bale of hay. Funny, sometimes they lose all interest in the feed once they've lambed. I think that's a combination of the bit of warmth and the grass coming on. But as you can see, these guys, they're suddenly not caring for the lambs. They've walked off. Lots of nuts that you can see on the ground there. So it causes a bit of a din, and the lambs, for a little while at least. The lambs let me stand up so you can see the view. The lambs lose the mothers, but they always mother up again. We've got a field here. This is our lambing field here at Garths Croft Bressay. On a lovely May Day bank holiday weekend. So once the sheep have lambed, we'll bring them down into this field, and they generally follow pretty good. With the lamb a few hours old, sometimes we'll have to coax them down a little bit, but the lambs will go into this lambing field. It's really quite close by the house. For those of you that have visited Garths Croft Bressay and come on a croft tour, you'll know that our fields surround the house, but you can just see over here, there's the croft house, looking nice and bonny and white in the spring, early summer sunshine. But because the sheep are so close to the house, we can keep an eye on them really quite easily. so you can see some of the ewes and lambs in the background. One of the things at Garths Croft Bressay that initially I was thinking, oh maybe not show that on the video, because it looks a bit rough and ready, and I like to try and keep a tidy croft, a tidy agricultural setup. But then I thought, no, well, I'll show it, because it's very much a reflection of who we are here and what we're trying to do. So behind me you can see an absolute mess that's come from the quarry on the island in Bressay. Sandstone quarry. For those geologists amongst you, Devonian, old red sandstone, about 350 to 380 million years old, give or take. And the reason I have 20 tons of it sitting here is that I am endeavouring to create something like this. You can see behind me. Let me just sit down in front of it. That's better. You can kind of get the idea of what's going on here. So I've taken this rough and ready sandstone, dumped out of the tractor trailer on the ground, and I'm fashioning it into quite an old-fashioned looking, quite neat at the moment actually, dry stone dike. So as we go around the croft, we'll see examples of dry stone dikes that I've built. It's quite funny in a way. My wife and I took the croft at Garths Croft Bressay about 6 years ago, and we used to come down for breakfast in the morning in the kitchen, and you'd look out the window and there'd be a sheep in the front garden. Not a popular husband in the middle of summer. Sheep munching through flowers. Something had to be done. So the very twee but very rotten and falling away wooden fence was roundly pulled away, and we've got a very good source of sandstone on the island of Bressay, and so the trick is to try and make order out of chaos. When it's dumped on the ground, you can order the stone. Stone comes, and you can either get someone to build it, or you can use YouTube, and there's a brilliant tutorials on building dry stone and trial and error. And what's the worst that can happen? So the dry stone walls are fundamentally important. It may seem a strange thing to say in terms of agriculture, in terms of the croft here at Garths Croft Bressay, but the dry stone walls, for a number of reasons. Obviously we experience really high winds, May Day, spring, blue sky, and my hair's being ruffled all over the shop. So there is a lot of wind. You know, this time of year, the lambing, or even in the winter, you know, the dry stone walls are fundamentally important for animals to get shelter behind in the lee of the wind. They absolutely benefit the garden from a horticultural point of view. We'll go and see the polycrops shortly. And again, at this time of year, what's really nice, I stuck my head out the window the other day, and there was a little starling that came out of the gaps, like the gaps behind me, in the dry stone walls, and they're actually using that. Starlings, wrens as well, very small birds, using that to so for nesting, for the... So another aspect of the agricultural setup that we have here at Garths Croft Bressay is to work, as you can see behind me, breakfast time, is to work with native and traditional breeds of pig. And behind me you can see the saddleback boar. It's actually really good natured. The only reason I'm not lying down in there is kind of muddy. Dry but muddy. So we have a saddleback boar behind us, and there's a Tamworth cross sow. Tamworth cross sow over there having her breakfast. And we use these pigs. Obviously there's a rather lovely end product, but we're endeavouring to use them in a traditional way, and that is to say to plough and to fertilise as they go. So we don't import any artificial fertiliser to the croft. What we try and do is, as you can see behind me, the pigs, you see the croft house in the distance there, Pigs have a very effective way of digging over, of cultivating, and of course fertilising as they go. So we just have a couple of sows and a boar. We obviously have piglets from that. The boar you can see behind me. So we've just seen some of the pigs that are outside. This young lady is in the maternity suite, and she's been brought inside. You can see it's a Tamworth Cross sow. She's got quite a belly on her. She should be due in the next week or so. So we try and bring them in a couple of days before, maybe even a week before. Get them settled, get them nice and calm, plenty of space, and then they can farrow. They can have their piglets. And on average, when they're gilts, that is to say, when they have their first piglets, they can be quite small litters, I find, with these heritage breeds. But as the years go on, or as the litters go on, she would tend to farrow maybe between 10 and 12 piglets. So we're just walking through the garden and into the new yard that I built 2-3 years or so ago. Dry stone yard, first new yard to be built in Shetland for over a century, and it's a dry stone square enclosure. And yards traditionally in Shetland were for the growing of kale, the growing of root crops. We actually had pigs in here before the dry stone wall was built. We actually put pigs in here, and we used it specifically to sort of turn over, cultivate the soil, some nice fertilised soil, and then on the back of that we're planting lots of trees. So this is going to be our contribution, our woodland at the south end of the island of Bressay. Lots of trees that over the years the dry stone wall will give them some wonderful protection, and we'll hopefully have a bit of a canopy here developing in the years to come. So you may have seen in the video of the yard there was a Nissen hut semicircular type structure that I didn't really refer to because we were speaking more about the dry stone walls and the woodland. But these are wonderful examples of how you can grow many different things within Shetland, and these are referred to as polycrops. There's some serious heat in here today, and they're effectively structures made out of recycled material from the salmon fishing industry to an extent. These black pipes come from the salmon fishing industry, and the plastic frame over the top, very heavy duty, and obviously that's what you need in Shetland when you've got some pretty substantial winds. If this was a greenhouse, a glass house like you might have in a town or a city, from time to time there can be a bit of debris coming through the air, or 80, 90, even 100 mile an hour gusts that could be detrimental for the glass. But these polycrops are still quite early in the growing season here. There's a pear tree behind me and a cherry tree as well. You're really able to grow a lot of soft fruits. We find a lot of raspberry canes here that are coming really well, and we'll just walk up to it's an apple tree here coming. You can even see, don't know if you can see this, little apples starting to come. And here are some hens. So some Dominique hens behind me here. We've hatched them out from the egg, in the incubator, and then taken them on. So they're laying well now. They'll be about 18 months old, and this is their second summer. So yeah, they're laying very good. So we have Dominique, Orpington, and some Shetland hens, and really hopefully that's that concludes this short video. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of the mixed nature of the agriculture that we have here at the croft, at Garths Croft in Bressay, with the poultry, the sheep, the lambs at this time of year, the pigs, shortly to be piglets as well, and the horticulture with the polycrop and growing lots of soft fruits and fruit trees and tatties and carrots and root crops as well. We are on Instagram at Garths Croft Bressay, Bressay, at Garths Croft Bressay, and we also facilitate croft tours. So should you be visiting Shetland in the future, for any reason, for a textile reason or vacation, we'd sincerely love to welcome you. The croft is always open, so please message me on Instagram at Garths Croft Bressay. My email address, private email address, is on the Instagram account, so we'd be delighted to facilitate a visit to the croft and to show you in person aspects of the mixed nature of agriculture in Shetland, and get up close and meet some of the very friendly animals. So thank you for watching. I'm Dyer from Garths Croft in Bressay, and hope to meet you all in the future.